Hey, Wilson here. Thanks for joining me. What I've got in store for you today are Scotch eggs. Now, you may not know what these are, and if you don't, that's okay. But what they are delicious golden bombs of flavor. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to partially hard boil some eggs. Then we're going to peel it. We're going to wrap them in a sausage, and then we're going to get it in a breadcrumb mixture to go over it, and then we're going to drop them into some hot oil. And what we end up with is some golden, crisp, delicious, flavorful things for breakfast, lunch, snacks. Great for a picnic. Amazing for game day. And if you just want to kick up your culinary skills and show them off for your family, it's a fairly simple process. But damn if the flavors aren't amazing. And look, as always, I'm going to keep this short as possible. I'm going to get on it. What you want to do is make sure that our eggs are like room temperature. So if you've got them in the refrigerator, one thing you can do is get some room temperature water, put your eggs in a bowl just like this, room temperature water, let them sit for about 10-15 minutes, and that'll bring the temperature up. One of the first things we want to get started is our mustard paste. This gives it like a very unique flavor. It's freaking awesome, quite frankly, but it needs to sit for like an hour so those flavors kind of meld and get together. So really simple. You're going to take like a 1/4 cup of ground mustard. It's not the mustard out of the bottle, but ground. I'm going to put that in. We're going to take a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Give it that tart tanginess. And then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of water. We're going to take some honey. Just a tablespoon of that. We're going to get that in there. And then we're going to add just a little bit of salt, so like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And get that in there, and then we're going to mix it all up to where it makes a fine paste. And you can put this and save it for other things. Save it for a few weeks and put it in the refrigerator. Just going to let it sit out for about an hour, let those flavors kind of get together, and then we're going to move on to the next step. But you don't have to wait a damn hour because nobody's got time for that. So our next part, what we're going to do is we're going to get our eggs. And we're going to carefully place them in here. Normally when I boil eggs, I put them in first, and then I raise the temperature slowly. That way they're less likely to crack. You can do the same thing here. And get them going just like that. But normally it's like go for 12 minutes. We don't want to go 12 minutes for these. We're just going to do 5 minutes. Once the water gets boiling, 5 minutes. At that time, we're going to cover them with water here. Just cook them for 5 minutes, because what we want is a nice creamy yolk. We don't want to cook the inside of this thing. We just want it to be kind of creamy when we're done with this cooking process. So it's going to go through the boiling process, and then later we're going to drop it in some oil. And what you get is just a fantastic symphony of flavor. So at this point in time, cover it with water, 5 minutes, we'll be good. While we've got our eggs going, once it reaches boiling, 5 minutes. We need to get a bowl ready for some cold water. And the reason we want this is that it helps us with the eggs. So the way I do it, get some ice, put it into a bowl, put some water in there, get ready after the 5 minutes to gently pull those eggs out, put them in this bowl of cold water. It helps us crack those things a lot easier and get those shells peeled off. That's tip number 2 for the day. So while the eggs are doing their thing, we want to move on to the next step. So we're going to take our sausage, any kind of sausage you want to, breakfast sausage, ground pork sausage, this thing's really versatile. We're going to put this into our mixing bowl, kind of smash it out. Then we're going to add in our mustard paste mixture, get that all over it. We're going to add in some salt. We're going to get our pepper. I said that in reverse. You saw what came out, so what the hell. Our garlic, minced. And then the onions. You can use red, you can use white, you could use Vidalia, you could use sweet yellow onion, and that's what this is, sweet yellow onion. Get that in there. And now you just really want to combine it all together, just like so. Make sure everything's thoroughly mixed. And then we'll set this off to the side, because this is what we're going to use to wrap around our eggs once we get them peeled. And like I said, the cool thing about this is you can take it, you can cook it in advance, you can put them in the refrigerator, and then you can take them out if you're tailgating, put them off in direct heat on the grill, get them heated back up. Look, it's amazing, and people are amazed at the fact that this how easy it is to make, but more importantly, just how delectable it tastes. Okay, see you in just a second. Just pull our eggs. Got our bowl of cold water here. Gonna gently just put them in there and allow them to cool about maybe 10, 15 minutes tops, and they'll be cooled off. And then we'll want to peel them. And this, like I said, it helps really get the shells off a lot cleaner. And on to the next step. So with our 2 remaining eggs out of the 7, we're going to beat these, and this is what we're going to basically use as a wash to make sure we get our breadcrumbs to stick. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that now. Once again, you don't want to crack like this. Makes it splinter more. Just a solid right there. And there it goes. Just like so. Just flat. Crack. As always, if any white pieces go in there, you can always use this to scoop them up and be good to go. So now it's just a matter of getting it nice, thoroughly mixed. You want to help. And we'll get this off to the side and move on to the next step. So we've got our partially hard-boiled eggs. They've been cooling off in the water. Now it's just a matter of cracking them, peeling them, putting them over to a clean dish, and on to the next step. Our next step is going to take the flour, cover it with our eggs that we've got cracked here, and make sure they're all nice and covered. It's going to help get those breadcrumbs to stick. It's going to get everything to stick a little bit better. Having it in the flour, having it go around the eggs. And next up, we're going to take our sausage and start to flatten it out, and then start loading these things up. I'm going to light this fire up and get this thing going. We want the temperature to be about 350. So we'll go in there and finish up the eggs, come back out, drop them in, fry them once again for about 5 minutes, and yeah, get ready to enjoy some damn goodness. So here's how this process is going to work. Got our breadcrumbs. You can use panko. You can use whatever it is you want to cover the outside of them. I'm going to put them in this bowl right there. We're going to get that out of the way. Now we're going to take our sausage mixture here, kind of flatten it out quite a bit. We'll get our egg that's kind of covered in flour. Make sure it's nice and packed in there. And then we're going to get our sausage, and we're basically going to wrap it around our egg. Don't want it too thick, don't want it too thin. Basically, you want to get it nice and covered. Make sure you pinch the edges, make sure it all goes around it. You got it covered really, really well. Just about like that. And then what we're going to do next is our breadcrumbs. I'm going to roll it in there and get it covered. That's going to give us that nice fried golden brown crispiness. That's what we end up with right here. I'm going to set it right there in that dish, as you can see. And then we've got our egg wash. And we're going to use that to kind of cover each one of these. Just slightly brush it. Don't want to knock off the breadcrumbs we just put on there. But this gives it when we go to fry it. Now normally around this time, I think I probably failed to mention it, is you want to have your oil going and get in that preheating. You want to get that to about 350, and it does not take long to fry these things. Maybe 5, maybe 6 minutes. If you're at 350, about 5 minutes every time works. And if you're concerned about it and you want to cook them a little bit longer, what you can do is you can also put them in the oven. If you want to wait and do this later, just put it in the refrigerator. And also if you want to go ahead and fry them, then you can put them in the oven and let them stay warm about 200 degrees till you're ready to serve them. I'm going to hammer out the rest of these, but I'm not going to bore you with the process. Got our temperature at 350. Now it's just going to be a matter of adding these things in here. A couple of things to remember. Never ever do this when you're wearing flip-flops. Never turns out well. Just gently place them in there. All right, gonna get rolling, getting the other ones in. You wanna make sure we gently turn them. You gotta be gentle with it because it's, well, it's breaded, but you can easily slough off sections of it if you're not careful with it. And sometimes it just happens, so. We'll get them to a nice golden brown. All right, we've reached our time. Pull them off. Ah, look at that golden brown deliciousness waiting right there. Y'all can't believe just how good this is. Hey y'all, here you have it. Delicious Scotch egg. Can't wait to get into that thing. Still needs to cool off a little bit because it's hot. Well, let me know what you think about it. Hit me up at Cookin with Wilson. That's without the G because I'm very country like that, y'all. At Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Send me a Gmail. Send me an email. Hell, that'll work too. And let me know what you think about it. The recipe is in the description below. If it's not there, there'll be a link to it. Or you can just scan the QR code on the image if you saw that. And I'd like to hear from you because I can guarantee you, you're going to love this. And like I said, stadium, tailgate, picnics, whichever. And keep this one thing in mind if you're out partying and having these, or just out partying in general. Make sure you keep your crap together, okay? Because they don't serve alcohol in prison. Until next time, folks.